Welcome back to the Mail-In Podcast. I'm your host, Brett Merriman. Sitting next to me, the lovely Sally DeFries. What's going on, Sal?
The way you just said the mail-in, I thought you said the email-in.
Oh, yeah. That's the next iteration.
We're going full cyber.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't realize it, but all these questions that we get are just mail.
It's all paper?
Right.
Wow.
It's paper mail. I have to go through them, and there's paper cuts involved. It's a whole big thing.
I wonder how much people are spending on postage.
At like 49 cents a pop.
Is that what stamps cost now?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's more than that.
It might be.
I
It
thought
might be like
50.
63.
All
right.
Will you look it up?
Yep. How
I'm going to
much?
guess. Wait, before you tell me, I'm
Okay.
going to guess 52 cents.
Wow.
What is that?
For a 1 ounce letter,
Uh-huh.
58 cents. That's a racket these days. Back in my day.
I remember sending out Christmas cards or like putting stamps on for my mom for Christmas cards one year, and they were 32 cents. And I remember my mom complaining that that was like a shit ton of money.
That's crazy.
Maybe I'm just not going to send out Christmas cards this year.
Ooh. But you have Fritz, though.
I know, like obviously we have to, but if it's going to cost like $1 to just send it to 2 people.
Yeah. I guess you can buy a book, right? That'll take the cost down.
Yeah.
Economies of scale, perhaps.
Yeah.
That's a lot. All of a sudden, I'm like, wait a second. Now that I'm
Like
if
a
you send
first
100,
class stamp is 58 cents.
Yeah. Too much.
Mail's expensive. Should I just do like an Evite Christmas card? Like
I don't think you can. I think Evites are like, you can't do Evites.
Okay.
I got an Evite to a wedding, and I was like, ooh.
We had an Evite for our wedding.
Yeah, but like your wedding was different.
That's true. I mean, it wasn't like I had to like send it secretly. We couldn't like send out invitations.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit. I honestly forgot about our Christmas cards until like just now. And now I've got to like somehow convince Will to like get dressed up so we can go take a picture with Fritz. It's like somewhat matching.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you got to get that. You got to get the outfits. There's a shortage, a labor shortage. I don't know if you've heard. So the photographers are in short supply.
The good news is
inflation.
That I have that iPhone 13 Pro Max. So I'm just
you got the Max?
Someone snap it on a phone.
That's fair.
And then have Will filter it on up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like some Adobe Lightroom.
Oh, wow. So we're like really filtering this thing.
Well, no, just like, you know, he'll probably just do a VSCO, honestly. Visco.
VSCO?
Is it Visco?
Oh, my God.
Is it Visco?
Adam,
it's Visco.
If Adam heard that, it's Visco.
Okay.
If Adam heard you say VSCO, that would be like Dylan when he said...
Can we erase this?
The youths out there are like, oh, my God.
As soon as I said it, I was like, it's Visco, isn't it?
Visco.
I'm not a Visco girl. I mean, like, I use Visco, but I'm not a Visco girl.
Visco to me is like where you put your more risque Instagram pics.
I literally only use it to edit photos. I don't think that I have a feed.
Got it. I have never
know
been
Will
on
has a
Visco,
feed.
but really?
I think so.
I might have to go into Will's Visco feed.
I think he does have a feed. I could be wrong. But he like saves certain pictures to Visco, whereas I just like put them on there, edit them.
Got it. Have you ever had a Finsta?
No.
A fake Insta, I would assume.
I do have a Sal Gals Insta that I don't use. I like made one time and then I've never updated it. And if I had more time and cared about it, I would like do it like an influencer, but I just...
Oh, and that would be like charcuterie based?
Well, that...
Etc. You know.
Yeah.
Cheese on a plane. You would have gone viral if you did a TikTok for that.
Yeah, but I don't have a TikTok.
How do you not have a TikTok?
Because I know myself and I can't have a TikTok because I'll just stare at videos on a loop.
Infinite scroll.
Right. It's too dangerous. Like, especially being in anesthesia.
This is going to be an interesting connection. I have no idea where this is going.
It gives you a lot of downtime.
Oh.
Because once the patient...
Gives them a lot of downtime too, am I right?
Exactly. Once the patient's asleep...
You're good.
You're monitoring them, but like...
Right.
I think anesthesia, it's like widely known that like we're all on our phones or like an iPad or like some people just straight up like bring a book. Like I don't do that.
Really? That's
But
news to me.
that's like an anesthesia. Like if you work in the medical field, especially in the OR, you know that like anesthesia is just like on the phone like on their phone scrolling shit. So if I got a TikTok, my ability to pay attention.
You just start hearing the beeps. It's like you're missing them because you're like, oh my God.
Right. Yeah.
Yikes. Code yikes.
Well, I mean, I have a feeling that pilots are the same way.
Oh, absolutely.
Because the most important thing in anesthesia is like the takeoff and the landing, the inductions and the emergence is what it's called. But it's similar to like taking off and landing a plane.
Sure.
So the middle part, most of the time, unless there's like something horrible happening, you're just chilling.
Look at that.
You would think that pilots are probably also scrolling Instagram.
They have to be. Like, I know they're not in quotes, but if you're the captain and like that's I would
you
fail
also
that
like
test.
Learn how to like listen for alarms and
sure,
like,
yeah, you monitor
you
stuff.
Like I'll scroll Instagram, then I like do a little scan.
Just a little boop.
This is not good for my image right now. People are gonna like.
I think
me. I'm a great anesthetist.
Everybody at their jobs has downtime.
Exactly, that's what
nobody
I'm saying.
works
like,
8 hours a day.
No one's just like totally dialed into a document for 8 hours.
Correct. Ever. Anybody who says otherwise is lying.
Exactly.
Well, that's what we're going to talk about today on the Mail-In podcast.
Yeah.
Anesthesiology and I don't even remember. Oh, and baby pictures, Christmas cards.
Yeah.
You may be wondering, what is the Mail-In podcast? Well, we do our best to answer your questions about Christmas cards or sedatives, maybe.
Sure.
You may run into situations in your 20s or 30s that you need help with, and we're here to do just that. Get a laugh in and maybe walk away with something useful. How can you help us out? Tell a friend about the podcast. Send them a clip or a segment that made sense for their situation. Subscribe on iTunes and follow on Spotify. You can hit the hotline number to leave a voicemail, 888-362-MAIL. That's 888-362-6245. Or you can write in at the link in the Twitter bio at Mail-In Podcast. Sally, are you ready for this one?
I am. Got the rundown.
Hey, Brett and Sally. I'm 32 years old, single, and live in a Great Lakes city and recently bought a house. Shouts to Randy. Shouts to living inside a constant and never-ending project. That's a little household humor right there, right? New house humor. In the recent weeks, a few of my close friends from high school got hitched, and while I do enjoy the benefits of living alone, their engagements have enhanced my awareness of how lonely it is to live alone and how I'm usually third-wheeling when going to events or at social gatherings, or solo when grabbing a happy hour drink. Nothing wrong with that. While I've adapted to living alone, I've started to question my life's trajectory on a personal level and if I'm ever going to meet that special person. I'm an airline pilot with a wacky schedule consisting of blocks of days away from home, working trips, and blocks of days entirely off. But those days aren't consistent month to month, so joining a Wednesday night beach volleyball league, for example, is not a great option. I've used all the apps with a little success. Window shopping for potential partners is strange, and I don't think personalities will translate well on an app. On my days off, you can find me running, mountain biking, stand-up paddleboarding, and cross-country skiing in the winter. Unfortunately, I've yet to meet any single ladies while doing any of those activities. I'm sensing a change of tactics from the apps might be necessary. What suggestions do you guys have to help tilt the odds in my favor for meeting someone? I've considered using a paid matchmaker service, but I'm not really sure if it's worth it, but I could be convinced otherwise if I hear success stories from my trusted internet therapists. Is there something else I haven't thought of or should consider doing? He attached his Instagram.
Oh,
just
he
to give
did?
him some context.
Hold on. Can I look?
I didn't include it in the rundown,
Can
but
you
I will.
text it to me?
I will text it to you.
Okay.
And from his Instagram, he looks like an awesome dude.
Can you please text it to
I'm
me?
doing it right now. I'm
Hurry
doing
up.
it right now. I had
You
to go
need
find
to
it
go
in my email.
faster.
Okay. Holy cow. He seems like a great guy.
Okay.
I'll let you pull it up.
Okay.
Filling your time right now. Do 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 do.
Okay.
Okay, Sally's looking.
Wait,
Real time.
is it? Does he have any posts? Did I click on the wrong one?
You might have clicked on the wrong one. I'm not gonna say it.
Oh, I did. I spelled it wrong. Hold on. Okay, here it is. Here it is.
Okay.
Ooh.
We're
Okay.
looking live.
Okay.
So he's an outdoorsy guy
Okay.
who definitely has hobbies.
Yes.
Outdoors, like flying and cross country skiing, and if crunchy is still the word that we can use, he's
Yeah.
a crunchy guy.
Okay.
He looks like he has a great time. He looks like he loves life, but
he needs a partner.
he needs a partner in crime.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm gonna do it
What are you gonna do?
with this guy's permission.
Okay. Are you opening up the Sal Gal
Yeah.
matchmaking service?
Yes, I am.
Wow.
I'm gonna shoot his Instagram to the mommies
Okay. With his permission.
with his permission.
Right. Of course.
I'm gonna hook this guy up with someone.
Okay.
Probably
Okay.
not in Texas because I feel like that's a long.
He lives near the Great Lakes.
Right. That's a
Yeah.
long
It's a long commute.
But Will lived on the Great Lakes when we met.
He did. He sure did.
I will say this. Okay. Meeting people's hard. And the
Mhm.
great thing about apps is that it really extended your like bubble of being able to meet people. So
Totally.
before, when you were just meeting people at a bar or at work or
Friends
via
of friends.
setup,
Yeah.
now the app does that for you. It increases your likelihood of matching with somebody random. The issue is that the stigma that I don't even think really exists anymore with apps, but also like what people's mindset is going
Okay.
into apps. Some people are trying to hook up, some
Mhm.
people are wanting a fling, some people are wanting marriage, and it's hard to like gauge what the other person's thought process is.
Sure.
So just in the way that you would have to kind of figure that out for yourself when you met somebody at a bar, you have to do on apps too.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just an extension of meeting other people, right? But I am a firm believer in when the time is right, it happens and it just works out. And I know that that's shitty advice.
No,
'cause there's
you're right. It's when you're least looking for something
Right.
is when things usually tend to happen.
and it can be really frustrating, especially like I think 32 is an age where people start being like, okay, when they look around, I think 32 is a normal age for that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
In Texas, it happens around 27, 28.
Yep.
Because we're the South and we do everything a little earlier.
Sure do.
That's all normal to feel like that when like you watch your friends start coupling up and you're like, wow, I really want to be with somebody. And for women, especially, like my biological clock is ticking and there's all this pressure.
That was mean. I'm sorry.
That's okay. But I think if you really want to meet somebody and you're really ready, sometimes you just got to do like take random chances, which when I look back at Will and how we met, like I didn't think I was taking a random chance. I kind of was like, LOL, like this guy,
Internet guy. Haha.
and it worked. But that being said, I think that this community, Washed, circling back, Mail-In, etc., have had a actually pretty good track record of setting people up.
I can speak from personal experience.
Exactly. And the great thing is to listen to this network, you have to like be a lot of the people who are fans of like Circling Back
Mm-hmm.
or Too Much Tip or Mail-In are all like usually have the same kind of personality.
Yeah, relatively similar,
and
right?
you have something in common with these people already.
Mm-hmm.
So why not
Maybe try that
give
pool.
it a shot, or let some mommies help you find somebody,
You
because
could
maybe
do that
you're not
too.
right for them, but you're right for one of their friends.
I like that. A lot of Will mommies out there that would be happy to help.
Should we start like an Instagram, like a dating, like you submit the profile and
I think,
we
like,
put it out there?
No joke, Kayla did this while she was sitting in the co-host chair.
I mean, like,
Yeah, and
because I know that I know for a fact that there has been like something on the Discord or Reddit or something like that
Mhm.
where people have like tried to matchmake each other.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
give me
That's
some feedback if you think this is a good idea. listeners.
I can tell you want to sink your paws into this one a little bit.
Mhm.
This is getting the
This
Sally's
guy's
like,
cute,
okay.
and he's like clearly got his shit together, and he needs like a fun little life
totally.
partner.
He's a pilot who okay, dope already.
And he likes to do fun
outdoors.
stuff.
He's got my whole take on this guy specifically is the communities that he's in. The pilot community, the outdoorsy community tend to be very insulated. You know, he needs a hiking partner. He needs a paddleboard partner. I think you're going to have better luck finding somebody like that in those communities that you would connect with than just on an app or at a brewery, right?
Okay, I'm gonna just shout out some of the stuff he's doing on his Instagram.
Shout him, not him, but things.
Right. And if you're a girl listening to this and this guy sounds like he's up your alley, you can also DM me and I will give you his Instagram handle again with his permission.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of mountain biking. He does go to the local spots when he's in different places. So he's got like a picture of New York and in South Dakota, and I don't know what he's doing in South Dakota, to be honest. He's at the capital of Texas. Here he is.
To say, wait a second.
Dressed up, I think, as John Dutton from Yellowstone. Shouts.
Okay.
Lots of cross country skiing if you like a little outdoorsman. Let's see what else is on here. I'm trying not to give away his location.
I know. Not only this, we're doing the activities. He's a good looking dude. I know that
stand up paddleboarding in Tampa. He plays golf.
Not bad. Not bad. He's a well-rounded individual that clearly
looks like
likes
he wears
things.
a Dan Flash's shirt in this one.
That's true. That does appear to be from Dan Flash's and or Margaritaville. Or Wilmot's. I don't know. He
was in Austin recently. It looks like.
So all I'm saying is that this guy's got he's got a friend in both of us.
Yeah.
And as far as near term, let's get you with the mommies. Open that pool up. And as far as where he is right now, I just think you have to take the pressure off yourself. I wouldn't do the paid matchmaker. I would take the pressure off yourself in stop looking.
Yeah.
And things will find you.
Also, he's a pilot, so he probably could get you to fly it for free. I'm just throwing it out there.
He could have miles built up. All I'm saying. Miles
built up, get you a jump seat. Isn't that a thing?
A jump seat, sure. I think the flight attendants tend to use that, but anything goes. Maybe, I don't know. While you're deep in the setup there, you know what could make him look pretty good on a date when we do get him one?
What?
What about a pair of Rothys?
Ooh.
Big news. Big news in shoes, Randy. Rothy's is now selling men's sneakers and men's driving loafers. Even more big news, Sally. They just launched premium merino wool shoes for fall. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Merino wool is nature's perfect material. Soft, comfortable, machine washable, and sustainable. Available in cool colors and classic styles you'll want to wear everywhere. I have made these my top pair of sneakers.
Will told me that you have two pairs.
I do. I have a pair of the sneakers and a pair of the driving loafers.
And that you just wear them all the time.
I wear them all the time.
And they're machine washable, so you can do that.
I've done it.
Correct.
Oh, I've done it. Barbecue sauce, no match for the Rothys. It was for a little while there, and then I put them in the dishwasher, not the dishwasher, the
washer.
Yeah, just the regular washer. Yeah. And see you later, barbecue sauce.
Gone.
It'll happen again, no doubt. But the merino wool stuff, insane. It's just sexy. I'm looking at a pair of the Merlot colored ones. Are you kidding me? Merino tassel driving loafers in Merlot, rye, stout, and black. It's it's perfect for Will.
Perfect fall palette.
They look phenomenal. If that wasn't enough, Rothy's just launched their first ever collection of accessories for men. Talking wallets, carry bags, card cases, Rothy's has all your everyday carry essentials. No more worrying about keeping your wallet clean after weeks of wear. Rothy's wallets are fully machine washable too. They do everything here. I've been wearing my Rothy's everywhere, to carve, to fix, to mats.
This is a dangerous game you're playing, taking mats, but We already established they can be washed.
Correct.
So
They also have women's shoes, Sally, if you're interested in something like
I
that.
didn't know that they have women's shoes.
To help you welcome fall in style, Rothy's is doing something special. That's right. They gave us the chance to share this super rare opportunity with our listeners for a limited time. Right now, get $20 off your first purchase at rothys.com/MAIL. That's rothys.com/mail. Head to rothys.com/MAIL to find your new favorites today. How about a voicemail, Sally?
Let's do it.
Hey, Brett and Sally. So I was listening to one of your guys' episodes, and Will was talking about how he likes to cut out beer when he is, trying to cut weight and stuff. And that got me thinking, with fall and college football and sports and hockey, obviously the best drink to drink is a nice cold beer. But your girl's trying to lose some weight and not put on, the winter LBs. My question for you guys is, what is your go-to skinny drink that you can also enjoy, tailgating, at a game, stuff like that? Because I don't really want to be throwing back tequila sodas while I'm watching football and stuff. So let me know your thoughts. Thanks.
What is your go-to skinny drink, Sally, when you're trying to keep the LBs in check?
I wasn't gonna lie. I was gonna say tequila soda.
Right, tequila soda, vodka sodas are the two answers here that are the cliche. Like, okay,
Okay, here's the deal. You're correct on that. Anything with soda, not tonic. I think we've all established that tonic is trash.
in terms of LBs or in terms of taste,
Taste and sugar. It's like,
tonic has sugar in it.
yes.
Tonic is gross. How does it have sugar in it?
Ugh. Do not drink tonic. I mean, whatever. Drink tonic if you want. But
G&Ts, baby.
Tonic is like bad for you.
Really?
Not bad for you, but like laden with calories.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Look up the nutritional facts.
I'm doing it right now. Tonic,
Whereas club soda is just soda water, right? So like,
CO2 in water, CO2 H2O.
right, yep, bicarbonate, yep.
Per 1 can of tonic, 124 calories,
Correct.
32 grams of carbs.
Yep.
Wow.
The more you
and
know.
32 grams of sugar.
Yes.
Are you serious?
So don't mix in tonic like an idiot.
Wow.
Also, tonic sucks. So like, obviously, do soda.
Yeah, no, I was out on tonic before. Now it's like get the F out.
Here's what I'm gonna say that's gonna be a little controversial.
Oh boy.
Okay. If you're actually trying to lose weight,
Cut alcohol.
don't drink alcohol. And for me, like the one thing I notice when I'm like, wow, I need to lose weight, or like I'm bloated and want to like be skinny for this trip, is if I cut out alcohol, like because you lose water weight and like bloat. And drinking something like soda water is gonna only make that worse. Just FYI.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, obviously stopping drinking is gonna be your number one friend here. But I realized that was not what she asked. I'm just
She's
saying,
going to football games. She's going to hockey games. She sounds like she's from the Midwest, and she needs
and
booze.
She wants us to tell
I'm
her
with
that,
her.
like she should just pound light beers. But that is also not the move.
Yeah, I think beer can get old,
Right.
and if you're trying to lose weight and drinking light beer, you're just like, it doesn't really taste that good. This is my 15th Bud Light. Like,
Right. So my number one is
Randy's over there like, oh my god.
don't drink, or only maybe limit yourself to like 2 nights a week drinking. Or,
Okay.
like do with the 80-20 rule, like 80% of the time you don't drink, 20% of the time you do. So like,
I don't like your rules, Sally.
I'm just actually saying what
I know. You're providing the
it's like when
substantial
people are like, how
advice.
do I lose weight? And you're like, diet and exercise
Yeah.
is the real answer, but I can tell you a bunch of other random shit. as
Cal's
well.
in, Cal's out, right?
Yeah. That's number one. Number two is obviously drinking like some sort of spirit, usually a tequila or vodka and a soda and like lime.
Yep.
And then number three for me, I guess, is like Vizzy.
I was gonna say hard seltzers. That was on the tip. That was my whole answer the whole time.
100 calories.
Hard seltzers.
And I'm not just because they're a sponsor, but like, I think that that's your next best option.
Totally. If you're not trying to pound, like vodka sodas and tequila sodas can be expensive too.
Mm-hmm.
Hard seltzer is kind of that perfect in between where it still has the beer characteristics like a malt beverage does, but it's a hard seltzer.
Right.
And you can go high noon, which is like vodka and
Yeah.
seltzer, or you can go Vizzy, which is more of a kind of a beer equivalent, but it's only 100 calories.
And then my other thing is like if you're gonna go the no alcohol route, I think that there are suitable things, because I think for me the times that I don't drink, like when I was pregnant or when I'm just being sober because I'm the designated driver or something like that, I find it really hard to like not pound whatever like non-alcoholic drink I'm drinking.
Ooh, okay.
Because, like, if I have water, I'll drink, like, 18 cups of water. And then I'm just, like, peeing all night.
I'm doing that with beer anyway. So.
Right. So I'm, like, I usually find that, like, having, like, a Topo Chico and lime or, like, something, not a mocktail, because, like, I don't really want, like, the sugar of it.
That's sugary.
I just need something to, like, sip on so that I won't get, like, too hyped up and just drink, like, a gallon of water while I'm there.
Yeah.
So, like, also... back to soda water, seltzer, whatever. Like, if you're going to be doing hard seltzer, mix in just a regular seltzer.
There you go.
Just cut the alcohol.
Yeah, I know.
I know that
know.
answer sucks. I know that. I'm just saying. And then obviously I think for me too, I feel for some reason better if I'm like just doing red wine. I don't think that's like a skinny thing to do.
No. I mean, like if I do a rosé in the summer, I'm like, ooh, that's skinny. I'm good.
Well, see, here's a great skinny summer drink is doing like a wine spritzer, doing like a little rosé, little Topo Chico, a little lime, and you're cutting down the wine, and it's like nice and refreshing. But
Sign
that's
me up.
A little harder in the fall winter months.
Yeah, I get that. Just don't like. I love a good IPA as much as the next guy. I love beer as much as the next guy. They're the worst. Old fashions cut down. Margaritas have more sugar in them than like Laffy Taffy. So I do a skinny marg.
Well, if I do a margarita, in general, I don't like the sugar. So
I don't either.
I do a tequila Cointreau lime.
Okay.
That's
Which is no lime juice or no like,
lime juice, but like no like agave or something.
Got it. Yeah,
or
that's
margarita mix.
I got you.
Because a lot of times if you do a skinny marg, they'll put agave in it. So if I'm at Matt's per se, I'll do, if I'm trying to be skinny, I'll do tequila Cointreau lime.
Got you.
Little muddled jalapenos.
Yeah, I get trying to drop lbs though. In the fall, it's tough.
And in the fall, it's tough because you want to do cozy shit.
Yeah.
Like you want to drink an IPA, or you want to like have like an old fashioned. All of the things that like you want that are cozy and like heavy.
Yeah.
You want to like a nice cab.
Cozy foods too.
Cozy foods.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard.
Yeah. It's hard. It's tough.
It's tough. But I honestly think if you can limit like you're drinking to like one weekend day and like one weeknight, you'll probably notice more.
The old 1-in-1 rule.
Yeah, because I think the hardest thing in the fall is like think about all the activities that you can drink at.
There's a whole bunch of them.
Right. And like it's easy to like drink every night.
If
you're like, right.
Yeah.
Like you're
I know.
having a glass of wine because it's nice out, or you're having a toddy because you're cold, or you're going to happy hour, or you're going to a pumpkin patch and being basic and having cider. Like whatever you want to do, but like find something that you like. That's low calorie, that's non-alcoholic, that you can replace.
If you can have a sub.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's probably not the best answer.
I know where you're coming from. The answers are vodka soda, tequila soda, and seltzer.
Yeah.
That's it. Unless there's something else that we're unaware of, that's it. Like you don't want to drink, Mick Ultra Light the whole time.
Yeah.
Because it's 64 calories and it tastes like water. Cool.
Yeah. Like to me, just drink the water.
Just drink the water.
I don't know.
Take an Adderall and drink the water. Just kidding.
Mm-hmm.
If you're prescribed, Sally.
Yeah, I don't condone doing drugs on this podcast.
Or off the podcast.
Let's
Let's do the next one. Hi, mail-in crew. Here's the backstory. My ex and I split up about 2 months ago. Condolences. Leading up to our breakup, he stopped watching my stories for weeks. After we broke up, I muted his posts and stories knowing I didn't need to see his day-to-day, but I noticed he was watching all of my stories again. And to be honest, I was only posting on my stories to see if he was watching. Uh-oh. After a couple weeks of him watching my stories, I hated how much time I was spending stressing about posting something and seeing if he watched it. So I blocked him. My hope was that I could block him from seeing my stuff, and I would stop seeing him for a couple months and then remove the block after a while, and we could go back to following each other. Fine. It's been like 6 weeks since the blocking, and I noticed that he unfriended me on Snapchat last weekend. My question. On the old podcast episode, Sally and the boys said that the best thing to do is reach out before you unfollow to let them know it's not personal. Just wondering, since he recently removed me from Snapchat, should I reach out now and tell him the blocking was not because I hate him, or is it too late, and should I just move on and explain it if we ever end up seeing each other again? For context, I'm 25 and he's 29. We are long distance in most of our relationship, so we don't see each other in person ever. Breakup was mutual, and I'd say we left on good terms. But I for sure thought I was going to marry him, and I miss him a lot. Hence me sending this, even though we've been broken up for a couple months. Is this a warranted reason to reach out, or am I reaching for something because I miss him? Uh-oh, Sally. We got a hanger on.
She's reaching.
Of course.
I do not remember the episode where I said the best thing to do is to reach out before you unfollow.
Okay.
To be completely transparent.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this. I think that there is a place to do that. Like, especially if you were the one doing the breaking up. Like, if you did the dumping, it might be like, hey, I think it's better for both of us. We just like cut it off. Hope your life's going well.
Yeah.
Bye.
I'm gonna cut the stories off. I'm gonna cut the posts off. And
we're done. Do you look at who looks at your stories?
No.
Okay, me neither.
I don't really like.
I have not.
Unless I'll like go to see how many people have watched it because I like the stats.
Okay.
More than the people. But if I see like a face that I haven't seen in a long time, I'll be like, oh, who's that? Like, oh, that's Kevin. But no,
Okay.
I don't look through my stories.
I think the last time that I checked was like if I did a poll or something.
Got it. Because then you can see who voted for what, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's scary.
I mean, this is just when I was asking people about their opinions on vaccines. So.
Oh boy, how'd that go?
Weirdly fine.
Okay, good.
Because the people that you surround yourself with on social media usually mimic your own viewpoint. I think we all know this.
Anyway.
Right? It's an echo chamber.
Correct.
We can get into it at any point.
That's my shower thought, actually. It's echo chambers.
Was it really?
No.
Oh, okay. No, you don't need to reach out to him to tell him that you blocked him. Just pick up your bootstraps and move on.
That you can mute people from seeing your stories? Or do you think she knows that and didn't want to because she liked the satisfaction of seeing him see her stories? Like if I put up a story right now, I can eliminate just you, Sally DeFreeze,
I know
from
that.
watching my
then
story.
It's like if I like want to be like, hey, I'm getting something for Will for Christmas, and like I want to like show everyone because I'm an influencer, and then I don't want him to see it.
Correct.
Yeah. No, I think that she wanted the satisfaction of knowing like he's looking at my stories.
Right. She misses him.
And now she's blocked him for the purpose of probably protecting herself.
Yep.
And stopping him from looking at her stuff.
Yep.
Which was the right call.
Okay.
I think. And I think that she needs to keep him blocked and unblock him when she has completely moved on, probably with another person.
Cool. I think you keep him blocked unless he only reach out if he reaches out and says, hey, did you block me for any reason? Just say, figured it was easier to move on.
Correct.
That's when you explain it. But no, I wouldn't reach out. I don't think you need to reach out and say, hey, by the way, like I'm blocking you. Here's me telling you that. I don't think you need to do that.
Yeah, I totally agree. If he asks, but she's never going to run into him in person. They are in a long distance relationship.
Right.
She said they won't see each other in person. I think the best thing for her to be able to move on is because if she calls him up or texts him and is like, hey, I just like don't want hard feelings, whatever. He's probably like,
I don't even think he's thinking that much about or
Correct.
into it, right?
if he missed her, he would make it known, probably.
Yeah.
I will say this. Yeah, there's another thing you can do, which is if they both have private profiles, or like she has a private profile, if she unblocks him, it'll like unfriend him essentially.
Yeah.
And then that solves the problem. Like then he would
Yeah.
have to like ask to be her friend again. So then it's like
Got it.
less harsh than blocking. But to me, that's
It's just an
pointless.
unfriending. Yeah.
Yeah, like you don't just leave him blocked. Honestly, probably block his number.
Leave him blocked, block the number, move on. Moving
Right.
on is just so.
It sucks. It's gonna suck
Yeah.
because you miss him. You thought you were gonna marry him. Like we cling on at the like after a breakup to like the things that make us think like, is there a possibility that this is gonna work out? Or you cling on to the like thought, even if there was a reason for the breakup. Everyone does this. It's human nature is like to put the relationship or the person on a pedestal of like things were so great, even if they weren't. Like even if there was a legitimate valid reason as to why you broke up, but you tend to forget that when you're lonely and you miss somebody and you like
You invested it.
crave
Right.
companionship.
You invested a certain amount of time.
Right.
You invested a certain amount of energy. You liked this person at some point. You don't want to think you were wrong in that.
Right. But I think that I'm not sure what the context of what we were talking about in a previous episode. I think if like it was like a ghosting situation, like we'd only been talking for a few months and things didn't work out, and like then you unfriended the person that way, or like they ghosted you. There's a time and a place for that, but I don't think you need to reach out to them. But like I think this makes sense. I think it's really hard for people to move on,
Totally.
especially in the age of social media where you can see everything a person's doing.
Much harder than it used to be.
And so I think it makes sense to like, it's the same thing as like back in the old days. Like if you knew somebody was like going to be out at certain bars and stuff, you either avoided them because you wanted to avoid seeing them, or you happened to show up there in hopes that you would see them.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
of
saying?
course.
So people need to treat it the same way. Like our lives are online, and it's so important for people to remember like everything that people are doing on Instagram and Snapchat and Twitter is filtered and not always real. And I think being able to see each other's profiles when you're trying to move on can be detrimental to your own like mental health.
Yeah, I think so too. And like as somebody who has not done that in the past, and like when I've had to move on over a breakup, I'm like checking stories and checking tweets and stuff like that.
Right.
Like, it's hard.
Yep.
It's really hard. And then you do. And
I
then
guess
like time
checking
is
stories is the new like asking your friends like what's going on
Yeah.
with him. Like
Yeah.
how's it going?
Yeah, and it sucks.
It sucks. Breakups suck, but I think
I
the
don't even
best thing
think-
for her is to just let it lie.
I'm trying to think of when I last broke up with somebody. It was like 2015. So our stories like a thing at that point.
No, I don't think
So I didn't even have it that bad.
Snapchat was a thing then.
Snapchat
so you
was a
could
thing.
See it, like if people saw it.
Yeah, but wasn't like I was snapping her, being like.
But I think Snapchat stories existed then.
Yeah, I think they did actually. Yeah, because Snapchat stories did it first.
Yeah.
That's right.
People forget.
Wow, people forget. I remember Instagram copying it and being like,
And you're like, no one's
Man,
going to use this.
nobody's
because
gonna use it.
Snapchat's king. And then everyone's like,
Wow.
Snapchat's the worst.
yeah, yikes. You mentioned buying gifts for Wilb though.
Yes.
You know where you could do that?
Where?
Uncommon Goods.
I actually didn't know that because I recently got on to buy him something.
Wow. If you're on a mission to be the best gift giver ever this year, apparently Sally is, it's never too early to start crossing off your list. Whether you're shopping for mom, dad, teenagers, in-laws, or your best friends, Uncommon Goods makes it easy to find remarkable and truly original gifts for anyone. Uncommon Goods wants your holiday season to be stress-free, so check out their selection of thousands of Uncommon Goods today. Ha. Here are a few of my favorite gifts that I found on their site. One, what I bought, which is a personal bourbon smoker. So I love smoked cocktails, smoky old fashions, etc. It's like it's not like a big cedar plank that you heat up and put the
Right.
It's this little like wood chip. It's like a Traeger for your glass,
Okay.
and you just light it up. It smokes it, and then you have a smoky cocktail. It's awesome.
Okay.
I'm very psyched about it. What did you get?
Well, I can't say
Oh, okay.
because it's going to be a gift.
Is it cool?
It is cool. I literally can't say it because
Okay.
if I can't block Will from listening to this podcast.
It's true.
Um,
There's all kinds of stuff though.
but I had a really fun
unique.
time picking it out. And then I was like, shit, I'm going to like use this for other people's gifts. And to be honest, I think you and I talked about this earlier. Everyone's saying get your gifts early because you
Supply
don't know.
chain.
Supply chain, remember how horrible the mail was last year? Like you got to do it right now.
Absolutely. There's all kinds of I promise you, just go to uncommongoods.com. There's charcuterie boards, there's candles, there's books, there's slippers, there's calendars, glasses, all like super unique, and art that's super unique.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really fun looking through these things and finding out what I wanted to get for myself, and undoubtedly will be using for Christmas gifts this year.
Yeah.
And you can sort by all different kinds of categories. It's awesome. It's like it's just a perfect spot to go kill a couple minutes, couple hours, and pretty reasonable prices across the board, honestly.
Yeah, and they have some like really fun holiday stuff too, which looks fun.
Totally.
I love it.
Randy went on too. Randy said he loved it. And you can shop for your dog, Randy, too, if you need. Or Rosie.
Yeah.
No matter what they're into, Uncommon Goods has the perfect gift. From art and jewelry to kitchen, home, and bar, Uncommon Goods has something for everyone. Not the same lackluster gifts you could find just anywhere. With every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $2.5 million to date. Shouts to them. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/mail. That's uncommongoods.com/MAIL for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary. Let's do the next one, Sal. Hey, Brett and Sally. I'm the first of my friends to purchase a home due to the high cost of living of Denver. My girlfriend and I are planning on doing a housewarming party. Question 1. Are they still in style, or has this kind of party died off, or is it in bad taste? And 2, what do I need to do to prepare? I.e. have the bar stocked, beer in the fridge, etc., have a full table spread of food or more apps and charcuterie. For reference, I'm 27 in less than a month, so the friend group is mid to late 20s. Sally, what are your commandments of having housewarming parties?
I think housewarming party is totally reasonable.
Mhm.
First of all, because it forces you to get your shit together and actually decorate your home. Because this is what happens. When you have a housewarming party, you end up the week of like actually hanging stuff, cleaning the house, organizing it, like getting your little knickknacks out, like your Uncommon Good charcuterie board.
There you go.
And you, so number one, it's a selfish thing to do because not really, but like it's a good task to like have one because then you have a deadline for getting your house together.
Totally.
Because how many people who listen to this podcast or on this podcast have like sat there with a frame propped up against the wall that you have been meaning to hang for 2 years?
Mm-hmm. I'm guilty.
Yeah. Number two, I think that this is still totally acceptable. Most of the time, I think that it's in the right thing, like the right etiquette to not ask or expect gifts. Ask
Yes.
for or expect gifts.
Which is there is a little bit of like a tricky situation there.
So I think normally people who are going to a housewarming party are going to bring you something like a bottle of wine or a candle or something like that. That's pretty good etiquette, but you
Yes.
don't want to ask for it. I'm not going to out a certain someone, but someone I know
Oh.
threw themselves a housewarming stock the bar party.
No.
And
They like registered for stuff.
no, but I think that it was like obviously explicitly asked, not asked, but it was kind of the understanding that people were going to bring them alcohol.
I don't know if I love that.
And I kind of feel that you let someone throw that for you for like an engagement party or
Sure.
something.
Yeah.
You don't throw yourself one.
A stock the bar party where it's like, here's a party, bring me booze.
Correct.
I don't think I'm into that. I'm always going to go to a housewarming party with
something.
booze in my hand.
So
Here you go.
right. Don't expect gifts. On the same vein, you also are responsible for probably providing some food and drinks.
100%. Absolutely.
You're having a party.
Yeah.
That's what parties are.
Correct.
So I think a great thing to do here is super easy to like throw together a charcuterie board.
Mm-hmm.
Have like some bottles of wine and beer available for people.
Now, what's the rule? Say you have 20 people coming.
Okay.
Do you have like a number of bottles of wine, a number of beers? Is there like a set, okay, 20 people, 3 beers a person. I need 60 beers to be safe.
To be honest, no, but I always ask. Like usually like liquor stores or like if you ever go to like a Specs or something, like asking somebody like, hey, I'm throwing a party.
That's cool. I didn't even think of that because
Here's going to be this many people there.
Yeah.
What would you... Normally those
right.
people are like really good at predicting that.
Gotcha. That's cool because the Merriman Spooky Monster Bash is this weekend, which I know.
bad news. I will not be
I've been
attending.
told. I've been told you have not going to be attending, Sally. That's
I have
okay.
to go to my company party.
That's okay.
It's taking place instead of our Christmas party.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm only a little devastated.
I have a pretty bomb costume too.
You got to stop saying cool stuff like that because now
I
I'm even
know.
more
And
disappointed.
normally I hate Halloween, and I actually like got a really tight costume. So
Well,
maybe I'll make an
fine.
appearance.
It'll still be fun.
I may try to
but-
come by after, but it's like it's north, and I got to go south, so we'll see.
I see.
I may
Okay.
have to come pick Will up, probably.
I'd say that's probably a possibility.
Yeah.
But
So, but then also having some appetizers.
Yeah.
Here's a great little hack. First of all, I
Hit
think
me.
I've talked about this in the past, but if you live somewhere where there's Trader Joe's, which he lives in Denver, there's got to be Trader Joe's in Denver, right?
there's a lot of TJs up there. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, there definitely is. Actually, I have been to a Trader Joe's in Denver, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
Shouts.
Amazing cheese section. Can get out of there. Obviously, get all your accoutrements and stuff like that.
Accoutrement.
Accoutrements. They also like. No one is going to turn down a pig in a blanket
Sally,
ever.
you can't be. That's what I'm doing on Saturday.
I know. And the best way to make pigs in a blankets that like are easy for people to eat is here's what you do. You get the croissants, like the can.
Okay.
Okay. And then there's like the triangle wedge that you have to like make one croissant.
Sure.
You slice that into like 4 long strips.
Okay.
4 or 5. And then you wrap that long strip around a little smoky.
Little weenies.
Little Smoky is the brand, I think.
Yeah.
Pop those babies in the oven
Oh yeah.
because it's a perfect bread to sausage ratio.
Okay.
Because no one wants a pig in a blanket that's mostly bread.
I agree.
You need like a half and half ratio.
Half and half ratio is ideal. What do you use for dipping?
Like a mustard usually.
What about honey mustard?
I like a honey mustard. I like a hot mustard maybe.
Ooh, spicy mustard.
Yeah, a little spicy.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. I'll have a
or
couple
just-
sauces available.
Sometimes I just don't even dip them. I just straight into the dome.
They're domable for sure.
Yeah. But the other thing about TJ's is phenomenal frozen food section. So you can go in there and like get
Oh.
some like crazy shit just like that you're like browsing. You're like, oh, that's interesting. I'm going to get those mini quiches. Do that. Actually, a little housewarming brunch party could be fun. If there's like a
okay.
game on.
Like a little Sunday or Saturday leading into the 11 or 12 o'clock
Right.
kick here.
You have
Yeah,
people
yeah.
over like a little mimosa bar.
A little
little-
Mimo bar.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd fuck with a brunch house party.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. I feel like y'all would do one too because it's like you parlay some soccer games into football games.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, okay, so my sister threw one. Well, it wasn't really a housewarming. I guess it kind of was because her and her boyfriend live together now, and no one had like been over to their house,
Mhm.
and they had a tailgate for her birthday.
Okay.
But like they got, I mean, because this was like way more intense. This was like people were gonna eat there, so they like got a brisket and stuff like that.
I
I don't
see.
think that
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have to be responsible for getting like full meals for people.
No, and I would even argue so much as to say that I don't like when I have to like have a meal.
You
if
don't
I need
wanna,
to
like, sit down with a
with a
plate.
plate and a fork, then I'm not conversing. And I
Right.
can't hold my drink.
Yeah.
I'd much rather have like beer in one hand, napkin in the pinky and ring finger, smoky in the
Right.
in the other fingers. Right? Like that's kind of, and then I'm mobile. Then right, I can Randy, you know what I'm
can
saying?
do a little like spinach artichoke dip, maybe.
There you go. Spinach with pita bread. That's the best.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
or buffalo chicken dip with pita bread.
Yeah.
Money.
All
But
easy.
point being that I prefer a stocked fridge of beer. Beer and wine is fine. If you want to dabble with spirits, fine. I don't think like you don't need to have multiple bottles of vodka for everybody.
No.
You need to have one bottle of Tito's, and when it's gone, it's gone. I'm not
or
trying
like if you
to.
want to have like people make their own margarita station.
Correct.
Or whatever.
You have one bottle of tequila, one bottle of Tito's. I think your responsibility is to hydrate everybody with beer and wine.
Right.
And hard stuff is on top. Once the hard stuff's gone,
You know,
it's
they
gone.
could also do a little cocktail housewarming holiday party.
Merriman Christmas cocktail hours coming up.
And then you can like have cookies,
There you go.
Christmas cookies.
Yeah, make it a theme. So it's not only a housewarming party, but it's
Little-
also themed.
Little prosciutto wrapped figs.
Dang, dude. Yeah.
You just like toss a little goat cheese in there, maybe a walnut, wrap that shit in prosciutto.
Maybe a sprig of rosemary.
And then you just like bake them for a second.
Yep. Now you're speaking my language,
Dabble
Sally. I
of
get
hot
it.
honey.
Yeah. Hot honey, maybe some fig jam, bacon jam, onion jam. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever you're feeling.
Wow.
Wow.
Huge.
Huge. And then I'm not a fan of the full table spread of food. If you want to, fine. I'm more of an apple charcuterie guy, but I'm not going to poo-poo any full spreads. Put it that way.
Okay.
How about the next one?
Yes.
Hey guys, I'm in a very lucky situation where my family has the money to help me buy a house in the city I just moved to. My uncle's able to buy with cash, and then I'll sign a mortgage with him. This is letting me buy at a higher price range than my friends are capable of, and it's making me feel pretty uncomfortable. On one hand, it seems unfair of me to use this advantage, but on the other hand, it seems stupid to not take advantage of help when it's offered with zero strings. 2 questions. 1, how would you talk to your friends about why you're able to look at houses that are $200,000 more expensive than we should be able to buy on a Navy pilot salary? No big deal. And secondly, am I scummy for not just doing it on my own? I will, of course, have roommates so that I can cover the mortgage, so financially it works. It's just nicer that I could swing on my own. What do you think?
He doesn't know his friends anything.
Yeah. No, this is
You
easy.
absolutely should do this. I'm sorry. Anybody should use the resources that are available to them and not feel guilty for it.
Yep. Sometimes you just get lucky in life.
Yeah,
And you
that's
have
awesome.
An uncle who can pay cash for a house that he's probably going to mortgage to you, and then once you want to move somewhere else because you're a naval pilot, which means you're probably going to bounce around a little bit, he's going to rent it to somebody else.
Or
Your uncle wants to do this.
Right.
Yeah.
He wants to do it. You're not having to like pull teeth to make him do it. You do it. You can disclose to friends that that's how you got it
Sure.
if you want.
Yeah.
But also, it's none of their business. And like any friend who like gets weird about it or asks you about it is not tactful.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with this. I don't think there's anything you need to be guilty about or anything you need to explain. Yeah, man, this is a nice place. It's like, yeah, I got some help here, and then that's it. If
Or
you even
can
need
just
to say.
thanks.
Yeah, or say thanks. It's
You
cool.
want to live here, so you can help me pay the mortgage.
Totally.
That's it. And then throw yourself a little housewarming party and use all the tips that we just gave you.
Complete with plenty of charcuterie.
I get it. It can like lead to some uncomfortable situations.
Mm-hmm.
And people probably know. Like
Yeah.
I have friends whose parents helped them pay for their first house. And like that's awesome for them that their parents can do that.
Yep.
Am I jealous? Yeah, I am.
Mm-hmm.
Is it happening for me? No, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And we're both in fine places. You know what I'm saying?
Totally. Yeah.
So I think don't feel guilty. Don't feel scummy or like you're still making your way through the world just like the rest of us, using what you can to like make your life better.
The tools at your disposal,
Exactly.
if you will. You know what he could have stocked up at the house, though?
What?
Some liquid IV.
Wow. Yeah.
Now we're
Yes.
talking. Now we're talking.
I have the most liquid IV in my house.
Do you?
I don't think like
All of it?
Our whole chunk of our pantry, like I would say a quarter of our pantry is still
Just straight
dedicated
up
to liquid
stocked
IV.
with
Yeah.
liquid IV.
Can't stop.
Cooler weather makes it easier to miss signs of dehydration, Sally, like overheating, or perspiration, which means it's even more important to keep your body properly hydrated. Do you know how many people are dehydrated that walk around every day?
It's a high percentage.
It's like probably, what, 80% of people? Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
that are
probably.
slightly dehydrated. Yeah. I know I am one every single day. Flu season is in full swing. Proper hydration and vitamins can help support a strong immune system. Making hydration a priority helps us feel healthier on a day-to-day basis and fuels us to be our highest potential. 1 stick of Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water hydrates faster and more efficiently than water alone. Not only does the product taste great with flavors like watermelon, strawberry, lemon, lime, are you going to be enjoying a few extra drinks now that the holidays are approaching? This is what you need. That sentence didn't really make sense, and I'm just going to power through this one. How's that sound?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Liquid IV guy at a couple different points during my day if I need it. 1, in the morning if I'm hungover. Super quick, super easy. Or what I've been doing recently, after a night out, I will be falling asleep on the couch with like a Whataburger in front of me or pizza in front of me, and I'll get a Liquid IV in that night.
Yeah, that's the pro move.
That's the pro
It's
move.
like leaving out. Do yourself a favor, leave yourself a water, a Liquid IV next to it, and about 3 Advil.
Boom.
Before bed.
Then I'm using Liquid IV Energy Multiplier in the afternoon as a substitute for like an energy drink.
Mm-hmm.
With the matcha blend, and that's been phenomenal. It gives you a little kick, but not jittery or anything like that. And then if I'm feeling, you get a little tickle in your throat these days with the temperature fluctuations, the allergies all over the place. Got to keep that immune system up. That's when I'm using the Liquid IV Immune Support Blend.
And tangerine, which is low-key one of my favorite flavors. What is your favorite flavor?
Well, I was the pina colada guy.
Okay.
But it's the collab of all collabs with Kygo.
So I think tangerine immune support is my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I have been loving watermelon lately.
Ooh.
And I also we have like some sort of cherry. It's something cherry. I can't remember. It's in a cool bag. It's low-key so good.
It goes.
Yeah.
It absolutely goes.
I drink one every single day at work to actually help keep my milk supply up.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that benefit existed.
I'm feeding me so I can feed my son. Yeah.
That should be a tagline.
You have to be hydrated in order to produce breast milk.
Right.
And that helps me do that.
I didn't think Liquid IV, when they listen to this, is going to think that this is where it was going. But I'm sure they're glad it's here.
I mean, for all my mommies out there.
Liquid IV
Yeah.
for your milk supply.
Literally, Alyssa and I'm hand to God, we're like drinking this at the wedding.
Really?
Yes.
How about that?
Yeah.
Who would have known, Randy? Liquid IV is on a mission to change the world as well. The company's donating 4 million servings in response to COVID-19, and products are being donated to the hospitals, first responders, food banks, veterans, and active military. Grab your favorite Liquid IV flavors nationwide at Walmart, or you can get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code MAILIN at checkout. That's 25% off anything when you order when you get better hydration today using promo code MAILIN, MAILIN, at liquidiv.com. Sally, let's do the last one. You ready for a good old STD question?
Yeah, wow. I didn't realize we were going to out this person right away, but let's go.
What up, mail-in crew? I have a sensitive subject to ask for advice on dealing with good old STDs. To preface, I'm a 28-year-old male virgin who recently started dating a nice lady. She recently disclosed to me that she had a positive HPV test for a strain that would clear naturally with time. The question is, how do I bring up that I will want to abstain until she's diagnosed as clear? This could be up to another year or two, so it'll probably be a deal breaker. Am I an asshole for this? I don't want to judge her for her past before me, but I also don't want to contract something that I could knowingly or unknowingly pass on. We both got that Gardasil too, so it's a weaker strain. Thanks, fam. Talking health, Sally.
Good job on the Gardasil.
Shouts to Gardasil.
Everyone should be getting a Gardasil shot.
I'm guarded by Gardasil.
Yeah. It's super important. Just a PSA, HPV can lead to cervical cancer and other forms of gynecologic cancer. So you absolutely need to be getting Gardasil and getting a pap smear and getting tested for STDs on the reg if you're having sex.
Deal.
PSA.
Okay. I'm going to leave the ball in your court on this one.
First of all, props to her for disclosing it.
Absolutely.
You also, again, should always disclose if you have STDs to a potential
You
sexual
should
partner.
probably be getting an STD test if you're having sex, period.
Right.
Right? Like, just to run the gamut. They have those that are like, hey, check this.
No, like pretty much any STD test is going to come and check for like the major ones.
Yep.
And that's always important. And most of the time we'll do like at a yearly wellness check.
Sure.
But always if you're switching partners or you maybe had like a one night stand that was a little iffy, it's always a good idea to get checked.
Yeah.
So
Never a bad idea to get checked.
you know what's going on in your own body.
Because a lot of them at this point with science are treatable.
And can go undetected. I will say this. I think the latest stats of HPV, I think it's like 8 in 10 people have HPV.
Really?
It's very, very, very common. It's,
wow.
It's like one of the most common ones because men usually don't show signs.
Yep.
And can pass it without knowing to many partners. And women usually only find out if
you have a sign.
No, like from a pap smear. So like you wouldn't even have any sort of symptom until you got a pap smear and they said your cells look abnormal, probably have a strain of HPV.
Got it.
So
Got it.
that being said, like COVID, like you can just be passing it around unknowingly and because you have Gardasil or something like that, that's fine. Here's my thought on this. Number one, I don't think that he's an asshole for saying that.
No.
Am I openly advocating that people just have sex with people knowing that they have an STD and could possibly like spread it around? No. But if this is someone that you want to engage in sexual activity with, that you possibly think might be your only partner, things like that, maybe that's
a different story.
Maybe that's a different story. Is there any thought that you have that maybe this guy is a virgin and is using the STD as an excuse to not lose his virginity?
Yeah, of course. If you're a 28-year-old male who's a virgin, chances are there's a reason for that, whether it be religious, whether it's something, right? So it's an easy way to have an excuse for continuing that.
Right.
Which is nothing, it's a problem if you're not communicating that with your partner.
Right.
But it's not
I'm not shaming this guy for being a 28-year-old virgin.
Right. Correct. Totally.
And I think it's important to always have conversations about your sex life with your partner, and to reach a level of comfort that you have.
Yeah.
Within a relationship ever. So, I'll just disclose this right here on the pod. I was a virgin until I met Will. And for very personal reasons.
Sure.
And Will was very respectful of that. I hope that he is okay with me outing this on the podcast.
I would imagine he would be.
But
you're
I'm
comfortable
happy
with
to
it,
say
he's
it. I
comfortable with
think that for a long time, it was something that maybe that I wasn't I was never ashamed of it. I was actually like kind of proud. But I didn't want there to be a stigma around it. And it was a hard conversation to have with him, especially when we were first dating, because I really didn't know what his sexual history was or like how he would react or anything like that. So getting that out there was important. And so I, hope that he discloses this to her. Mostly because I don't know if she knows that about him, and I think that's important.
Yeah, I totally agree.
For your partner to know. Number two, I also think that if that's how you feel about the HPV strand, you're absolutely, completely fine in thinking that, and she should also understand that.
Yeah.
And I think regardless of what it is, any partner that respects you will respect what your sexual preference is, what you how and when and where you want to have sex. So you should never be ashamed or afraid to talk to somebody about that. And anybody who thinks it's a deal breaker, which it could be, maybe doesn't need to be in a relationship with you.
Agreed. It all comes back to communication.
Right.
Which most things on this podcast do.
Yeah. So hopefully she's okay with that. I think also talking to a doctor and kind of assessing your risk, because if it's somebody that you do want to have sex with, and maybe you get to a point where like you've waited and you want to have sex with this girl, probably discussing with the doctor, or maybe her discussing with her doctor of like the likelihood of passing it on.
I need to brush up on my HPV knowledge, but does a condom stop this?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. I will have to look into that. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm trusting you on that. But
condoms can prevent many STIs.
Sure.
And pregnancy.
They do that too.
Number one. But again, always talk to a doctor about all of this stuff. If you have questions, it's so much better to know than to like be going off what your friends tell you, or maybe even what a nurse on a podcast tells you.
Got that, Randy? Randy's got it.
Go get checked, okay?
Go get checked, Randy.
Randy, get checked.
I'll go with you.
Okay.
Deal. I'm glad we got that out of the way. Shouts to those people who, hopefully that helps some people out there.
Yeah. Shouts to those people who are virgins in their late 20s.
Shouts to them too. Absolutely.
Big ups.
Big ups. Sally, that's going to do it for us today.
Okay.
You have a good time?
I had a great time.
That was fun. That flew by. We're an hour and 7 in.
I know, and I think we kept it pretty tight.
I think we did.
A lot of times we get off on tangents.
We did. Like, I'll admit, anytime you get us in like a housewarming party discussion when we can talk like accoutrement and appetizers, you're asking for a tangent.
I got really hungry during that segment.
I did too.
If we're being honest.
You guys out there, hope you had fun too. Subscribe to the Mail In Podcast, rate 5 stars, give us a review, and tell a friend about the show. Hit the hotline number to leave a voicemail, 888-362-MAIL. That's 888-362-6245, or you can write in at the link in the Twitter bio. Sally, where can the people find you?
You can find me at Sally DeFries on Instagram and Twitter.
And I am at Schmerriman on Instagram and Twitter. We will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.